Donald Trump recently threatened India, Russia and China, the main founders of the BRICS bloc, with a warning. And the reason for the warning is more financial than political. Hello, my name is Abhinav Trivedi and you are watching Mint Explains. In a tweet, he mentioned that the idea that the BRICS countries are trying to move away from the dollar while we stand by and watch is over. We require a commitment from these countries that they will neither create a new BRICS currency nor back any other currency to replace the US dollar, or they will face 100% tariffs and should expect to say goodbye to selling into the US economy. They can go find another sucker. There is no chance that the BRICS will replace the US dollar in international trade. But why? Why does the idea of a new global currency rattle the United States? Now, sample this statement from Donald Trump a couple of days ago, before he was elected the US president. Listen in.
The problem with what we have with sanctions, and I was a user of sanctions, but I'd put them on and take them off as quickly as possible because ultimately it kills your dollar and it kills everything the dollar represents, and we have to continue to have that be the world currency. I think it's important. I think it would be losing a war if we lost the dollar as the world currency. I think that would be the equivalent of losing a war. That would make us a third world country, and we can't let it happen. You're losing Iran. You're losing Russia. China is out there trying to get their currency to be the dominant currency, as you know better than anybody. All of these things are happening. You're losing so many countries because there's so much conflict with all of these countries that you're going to lose that, and we can't lose that. So I want to use sanctions as little as possible. One of the things that we have with tariffs is that I'll say to them, you don't honor the dollar as your world currency. Is that right? You're not going to do it? No, we're not. I said, that's okay. I'm going to put tariffs all over your product. And they're going to say, sir, we'd love to honor the dollar as the world currency.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. How US dollar protects US as a global superpower. Now, to understand the context of why US is so scared of dollar being replaced as the international currency, one needs to first understand how dollar, being the international currency, works in the favor of the United States. The US dollar dominates the global financial infrastructure with key systems like the SWIFT network facilitating cross-border payments primarily in dollars. Not only that, institutions like the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank conduct most of their operations in dollars, and US Treasury bonds are widely considered the safest and the most liquid investment. Over 58% of global foreign exchange reserves are in the dollars. In the 1970s, the US negotiated agreements with oil exporting countries like Saudi Arabia to price and trade oil exclusively in US dollars. Not only that, Richard Nixon in 1971 delinked dollar with gold, and the dollar's supremacy has only multiplied since then. The petrodollar system created consistent global demand for dollars as nations needed them to purchase oil. Now, the US dollar is the world's primary reserve currency held by central banks globally for their stability and liquidity. As the US practically runs the SWIFT and its international currency, it can impose sanctions on any country which does not align with it geopolitically. It has done that recently with countries like Russia and Iran. Not only that, the US has been printing its currency or devaluing the dollar ever since. The country's debt ceiling has already crossed $31.4 trillion and is expected to move again in January 2025. But some things are changing. The global financial landscape has been evolving with the US dollar's dominant role increasingly under scrutiny. What is central to this shift is the process of de-dollarization, a move by the BRICS group and member countries to explore the alternatives. You see, the BRICS nations command over 36% of the world trade. Countries like China, Russia and India are large trade countries. Now, de-dollarization refers to the process by which countries reduce their reliance on the US dollar as a medium of exchange, reserve currency or standards for the international trade. It involves shifting away from the dollar in favor of other currencies or alternative systems such as national and regional currencies or even digital currencies like crypto. Nations can develop or join payment systems that bypass traditional dollar-dominated mechanisms like SWIFT. Countries have been attempting that. Examples include China's cross-border interbank payment system or CIPS or regional mechanisms like BRICS initiatives. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is worrying US President-elect Donald Trump. Losing a dollar is equivalent to losing an economic war and global status of an economic superpower called the United States. And this is precisely the reason why US President is standing tall and guarding US dollar as an international currency. It's a prestige issue for him and America. This is all from this episode of Mint Explains. I, along with my team, shall see you in the next episode. Please let us know what do you think of the subject in the comment section below.